Hello from the Busy Needle. Today I'm going to let you see me do a little machine quilting on Maxine, my Singer 15. The first thing I want to show you is this different kind of foot. You may not have seen a foot like this before. This is called a walking foot or an even feed foot. And you need this because we're sewing through 3 layers. We have 2 layers of fabric and batting in between. So you need that. If you don't, it's going to bunch up and pucker on you. How that'll work, it attaches here just where you put your regular foot on. That's where your screw will go, like right here. And this piece fits on the needle clamp. So when the needle goes up and down, it causes this part of the foot to move up and down, and you get a feed on top and your feed dogs on bottom, and it keeps everything going through for you really smooth. So that is a must, and you can buy one of those for almost any machine out there. Also, before I get started, I wind up a lot of bobbins, so I'm not having to stop and redo everything and wind bobbins. When I run out, I just get another one and put in there. So let me show you how to set my machine up. New needle when you start any project, and I use a jeans needle, which is thicker because you need that power going through all these layers. I put my stitch length indicator on high, and now on this machine there's no numbers. You just push it up to the top because you don't want any tight stitches. It's going to cause some more bunching and pulling. Nope. Well, I use a thread stand with my thread, so I just put a bobbin on here to give it that extra catch before it goes through. Don't think I'm using a bobbin for thread. Now, I've started out, I've brought up my bobbin thread, I'm ready to go. Now, when you do this, you need to take your time. It's not a race. If you go too fast, it's going to affect the feeding as it goes through. And you'll have to take time to adjust, and you can't have it pulling anywhere. You'll kind of see as I get going here, but you'll have to kind of take your time and don't get to going too fast as you go. Okay, so let's start out here. Now the pattern I'm using, this is a quilt top that was pieced by my daughter when she was 12, and it's all different pinks. And like most of our piecing, it's not perfect. So we decided we're doing what's called organic wavy lines, which in the quilting world, organic means not exactly straight, not perfect. We're just kind of meandering down through here, basically in a straight line pattern across this quilt. And when it's washed, this is a cotton batting, so when it's washed, it's going to draw up some, it'll shrink a little and break and give crinkles, and it'll give lots of texture to all these pretty fabrics she picked. She picked everything she liked pink to put in here. Okay, so here I go. Do not pull. Don't help it go through. I'm just slightly smoothing this with my hands. Now, I'm going to have to do some adjusting, so always needle down. That'll hold it right in there where it needs to be so it doesn't shift. And this is called the stuff and fluff. You'll have to just kind of roll it and stuff it through. This is where this large harp space comes in handy. Okay, now I'm going to go a little further. I'm going to get too fast. Okay, move it a little more. Now then you'll notice there's pins. This is pin basted together to keep it all where it's supposed to be. So as I come up on a pin, I'm not sure if I will on this pass, but as I come up on a pin, I'll take it out. And I'm just moving along. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect, not in this style. I'm going to show you some different styles of machine quilting, but this is a very easy one for beginners. Okay, I need to fluff a little more. Just keep pulling it in. Keep wrestling with it. And once you get it where you think it ought to be, just worry about this part right here. Just worry about this, getting this in. Okay, needle down. Well, it went down for me that time. If you have a machine with a needle down function, it'll be handy to have during this. Okay, off we go. Okay. Needle down. Stuff and fluff a little more. Some people do this with tabletop machines. I can't imagine, but I know they do it and they do a good job. I've seen videos. Okay. Okay, making little wavy lines as I go down. She picked this quilting pattern. She liked the idea. And moving on. Now you'll have to start this in the center. You always start in the middle and move out. That moves any fullness. Kind of like a pebble in a pond. It pushes any fullness out. So you don't have puckers and bunches. And this is kind of fun because our fabric is really pretty. And I enjoy going over the different fabrics and looking at how pretty they are. And that's from a fabric kind of person. You got to be a fabric kind of person to get that. But I love all these pinks. And you see how Maxine, how this Singer 15 just chews it up. Now here I've got loose threads here. I'll just push those to the side for right now. Those will need to be tied off and worked in. That's where I ran out of the bobbin earlier. Off I go. I'm going to take this pin out just so it doesn't get hung up in the mechanics there. And you can see how that moves up and down. And have a bowl for your pins, because you can use your pins over and over again. Here comes another pin. And we're almost to the end already. Okay. Moving on, keeping things smoothed out. Oh, come on, baby. Maxine's in need of a new belt. My husband's going to do that for me today, so we have a little pulling sometimes over there in the works. Now, when I get to the end, I don't backstitch. Number one, this machine does not have a backstitch. It was made before backstitch was around. I just sew off a couple of inches. That'll hold it secure. And I pull, carefully pull. Now I keep scissors around my neck because you don't need anything up on the deck here when all this is going on. Give this a trim. Now here's you a tip. I pull a little extra out and throw it over the back of the machine. That way I don't lose it. I don't have to rethread the machine because I'm a woman of a certain age and threading a machine is not always easy for me. Okay, so I went all the way down the line. That may seem like it takes a long time to you, but if you've ever hand quilted, that's very speedy compared to that. Now, I'm going to pull it around and start back on the other side, going down the other way. So I'm slowly moving outwards with this quilt. So I'm about halfway finished with it. And I think it's going to be very pretty when we get done. It has a nice texture to it and looks nice. So just to recap, if you're doing machine quilting with a walking foot, of course you got to have your walking foot. Lengthen your stitch length. Take your time. Stuff and fluff. Don't let it be grabbing. And just enjoy yourself. That's what this is all about. So thank you from the Busy Needle, and God bless.